it's a good passing game you're going to face. What stands out about Washington just on film with what they do? What makes them good?
The variety of people that they get the ball to. I think number 1, number 2, number 11, number 4, number 0. They got at least 5 guys that you got to consider a threat just based on receiver. Now you talk about the tight ends, you talk about the back being a threat in the passing game. So very talented variety. Got a lot of depth there. And, it's going to be a challenge for us that we love because it's college football playoffs. You're not there to go play somebody that you can cakewalk. You're there to play the best, and they got the number 1 passing offense in the nation, and so that makes me light up. I love that. I love the competition. I love getting to go against the best because when you go up against the best, that means you are the best. So.
In terms of the schemes and route concepts, is there anybody that Washington reminds you of that you faced this year?
I can answer that right now. I've been so focused on Washington the last 2 or 3 weeks that I'm just focused on Washington. I think their receivers are long. They got really good catch radius. They take it personal when the ball's in the air, and so we just got to know that when we're playing the ball and when we're scheming them and trying to disguise this quarterback.
Michael, you played. Describe what happened when Coach Sarkisian announced that Jordan Whittington made it into or got an invitation to this Senior Bowl.
Yeah, everybody was just super excited. It was the only guy that got announced by Coach Sark that he's going to be in the Senior Bowl. I think that was well deserved. Not just the getting into the Senior Bowl, but getting it announced by Coach Sark because everybody knows what Jordan Whittington means to this team. Everybody knows what Jay Witt means to, not just this offense, but the whole team. And he's going to be such a good player in the NFL. He's such a good player right now, and just such a good teammate. I couldn't say enough about Jay Witt.
Michael, it seemed like after the TCU game, Sark kind of said, we need to play tighter coverage. Can you talk about the playing tighter coverage versus trying to keep everything in front of you?
Yeah, I think it's a weird concept to know that when you have such a good run stop defense, it makes offense one-dimensional. And when you make an offense one-dimensional, it's really good for us. But also, they got scholarship guys too, and they're going to complete passes. And so, that's all right if they catch a deep ball or they catch a couple balls because they're not running the ball. So I don't really look at the stats. I don't care about what they're doing. All I care about is winning. And when you're winning, that means that our score is higher than theirs, and however it takes, we're going to get it done. So it really helps that we're one-dimensional. Kind of, we make these offenses one-dimensional. As far as the TCU, after the TCU game and stuff like that, just little corrections on tendencies that the offensive have. And then also looking back on what we've been doing wrong and trying to correct our own mistakes, and so just going from there.
Arch is next man up now if something happens. What have you seen? I know you've known him. Where has he grown or improved during the season?
Yeah, he's very intentional with his work. When Quinn's up or when Malik was up, he's standing over there. All right, it's this. All right, I'm going to go here when it's this coverage. I'm going to go here when it's that coverage, and kind of mimicking what the other quarterbacks do, and asking a bunch of questions, and he's really understanding his role of being a redshirt freshman, knowing that your potential is very not much reached yet, and so do everything you can to keep reaching that potential, and he's doing an outstanding job of that. Just understanding that he's got a lot of work to do, and he's really athletic and really good already, but it's going to be crazy to see what he can do, continuing forward.
You've played in a lot of big games in your life, back in high school and stuff like that. What are the keys to kind of handling that kind of pressure?
Well, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and you got to just take that to heart, knowing that when the game's on the line, don't look for anybody else, look for yourself. nobody else is going to make the play. You are, and you just got to have that mindset every single play that we're looking for a big play. We're looking for an X factor type of guy. You got to be that guy. You got to go make that play. You got to go get that 3rd down, 4th down stop for your team, and just that's how you got to contribute. And so that's kind of my mindset is, there's a lot of X factors on this team, just looking top to down on our roster, but you got to look no other but yourself and know that if this team wants to get a win, you got to go make it happen.
You're talking about not having Derek Williams for the first half.
Yeah, he's a very vital piece to our secondary, and so he's going to do his best to support us in the first half, and then when he gets his shot, he's going to be juiced up, get ready to go. So, it's an unfortunate deal, but the rule's the rule, and he understands that, and he's being very mature about it. And if I was a freshman and that happened to me, I don't know if I would handle it as well as D. Will's doing right now. So I'm proud of him. I think he's doing it, handling it in a mature way. He understands what he needs to do and how he needs to go about, just helping this team win first half and second.
Since Jalen is also out, how do you guys kind of overcome those losses as a safety room?
Yeah, well, he's got to do what's best for him, and I understand that, and I respect him, and we still all got great relationships with Jalen, but just understanding what he brought to the table and knowing that we just got to come closer together to one another, and I don't think any culture has been lost, but obviously depth has been lost, and that's okay. Guys just got to step up, and we know who those guys are going to be and what needs to be done.
Michael, you've kind of taken on a larger role as the season's gone on. How have you improved as a player this season? Like, what areas do you think you've improved most in?
For sure. I think first off is confidence. You really got to tell yourself that confidence piece. I'm a true believer in Jesus Christ, and I know that my plan is ultimately not as good as Christ's plan, and so that's helped me a lot. But to actually do it and get on the field and rep after rep and just doing good and then doing bad and learning from that bad, that's where the confidence piece comes, and so that's really helped me. Just from Houston, my first interception, to know that, all right, that's a feel-good moment, and then getting that under your shoes and just knowing that you belong out there. And then I would think the second thing is just becoming the leader that I want to be. Try my best to get the guys around me playing as good as they should be, and just being really that safety, the one that everybody can rely on, and try my best to do that. And then when I'm out there trying to get everybody else to have fun, then it's really fun for me, because we're flying around right now, we're having fun, and it's evident on film. So it's a really awesome moment for me, and I just try to do my best to take that challenge on.
Who's a guy to watch, like maybe he's been on scout team, or who could emerge in the spring at safety, who you've been impressed with? At
safety?
Yeah.
Well, before you said safety, I was just going to mention Darian Gillette. I think he's got a lot of potential. But yeah, at safety, I think Jelani McDonald. He's a guy that can play multiple positions. So I don't know what the coaches are going to do with him, whether it's linebacker, star, safety. I could even see him playing corner. He's really athletic. He's long. He's he knows the defense very well. So I think he's going to be a guy for us that he's doing it on special teams. He's showing his football IQ, his athletic ability, and guy's just a really good teammate. Supporting us, and then when he gets his shot, he's going to be ready. So I'm excited for Jelani.
What about Gillette? What stands out?
Yeah, he's just having that knee injury in high school. That's always mentally and physically hard, and I think for him, he's just a freak of nature. Once he gets it down and it clicks for him, it's going to be a fun sight to see.
Michael, 3 years ago when Coach Sarkisian came, his moniker was all gas, no brakes. Has he let up on the brakes, or has he applied more gas? We're going into the season. We're going into this playoffs.
Yeah, well, I think the last 2 weeks can explain itself on all gas, no brakes. I think that's a motto, but that's also a way that you live. You don't, just because maybe you're blowing a team out and the twos or the threes go in, there's the standard's the standard, and everybody's got to live up to that standard. You're all in the same locker room. You're all in the same meetings. And so I love the all gas no brakes because you just got to keep punishing them, kill their will, and just impose your will on our opponents.
All the
It seems like
pundits-
the volleyball team's been setting a new standard as well with national championships. How have they kind of influenced y'all's locker room and inspired y'all?
Yeah, the volleyball team's amazing. You can see it when we go in the tank. The tank's our cafeteria that all the athletes eat at, and they sit together. They got a really good culture, you can tell. And then there's no food left or anything like that. All the tables are spot clean. The tables are pushed in. The chairs are pushed in, and you can just see that they're really respectful women. And I'm so proud of the season that they had. Falling a little bit at the beginning of the season, and then coming back and never quitting, and just taking those losses and benefiting from them. It was really cool to see. I was watching, and dang, there's some athletes, and it looks like they were having a lot of fun. So hats off to them.
All the pundits are saying if Washington's going to win, it's going to be their passing game, getting over on Texas's pass defense. What goes through your mind when you hear that?
Excitement. Yeah, they're really good, but we're really good too. They got, like I said, 5 to 6 receivers that are really, really good and that can get open in space and run with the ball when the ball's in their hands. But we're really, really good too. So, I'm really confident in our DBs. I'm really confident in the play calls that our coaches make. I'm really confident in myself and, the safety that I look to the left or look to the right. And so it's nothing but excitement for me. I believe that I'm built for these moments. I believe that everybody else around me is built for these moments. And, we're just going to try our best to showcase that on January 1st.
Did you get to go 5 years ago? Did you get to go as a fan to New Orleans?
I did. Yeah, I did. I sat with my family for a little bit, and then I sat with the Ellingers for a little bit too. So that was a really cool moment to see Sam get the MVP trophy and see all his work pay off, because he was one of the best leaders that has come through this building. So he's a real good role model for me. I call him whenever I get a chance. I know he's super busy, so I feel bad sometimes, but he's got to be a leader whatever he does in his lifetime, because the amount of just knowledge that Sam has is crazy. So it was really cool to see him ball out on that stage, and New Orleans was flooded with burnt orange, so I expect the same result for our fans to show up and be loud and just bring us some energy.
What did you think when he said, "We're back"?
He always talked about that. It was meant to be. He did it. It wasn't to jinx it. He doesn't believe in superstitions. He believes that he believes in Jesus Christ. So I don't know. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was funny, and that was really all I thought about it.
Why is this team ready for this college football playoff moment?
The way that we've been playing the last 2 weeks, or the last 2 games, and the practices that we've been having, really, really good practice, communication, physically, mentally, everything that's going into it. And then we just trust our coaches. Our coaches have a really good plan for us these last 3 weeks and these next 2 weeks. And so we trust that. We believe in them, and we're kind of just doing what they say. And it's still a player-led team, but we know that Coach Sark has been here 4 or 5 times, and he knows what it takes to win. So we trust that, and we're just going to go and shine in God's glory.
Michael, a couple of weeks ago, they released the SEC schedule. So I'm wondering did you see it and what you thought? And is it kind of weird to not see, Tech or Baylor or TCU?
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't put much thought into it besides that we get to play A&M. That was pretty cool. That's going to be a fun game, but right now I'm just focused on Washington and everything that goes into this game that we got on the first.
And how did that kind of affect the locker room?
It's lit up. We got the top volleyball team in the nation. It's going to be real cool when you got two sports from the same school in the natty. So, yeah.
Holiday question. What's on your Christmas list?
I'm just really excited to go back home and see family. I don't go home very often, so I'll be looking forward to seeing my aunts and uncles.
Why is this team ready for this?
Because we always been ready. Now we got to put it together. I feel like we're the best. We're one of the best teams in the country, and we're going to prove that.
And what jumps out to you about UW from a defensive standpoint, defensive front standpoint?
Effort, high effort guys. Every single play, you got to be on. You can't take a play off, and you got to block to the echo of the whistle. They have a great motor, great athletes, and they crowd the ball. So.
Christian, how did this team go from 5-7 to college football playoff in 2 years?
Connection. I'll just say having a deeper connection with each other, and like actually having a brotherhood, and a lot of work to get to that point now. But I mean, yeah, that's a long way ago, but it's really not, and that's just a testament to Coach Sark and all the coaches, all the strength coaches, and everyone, support staff as well, making sure that we're on the straight and narrow and maximizing every single day. So it's all credit to them.
Christian, what is Jaden Blue?
Speaking of it, sorry.
What has Jaden Blue shown you the last?
He's explosive, man. He's a one-cut type of guy. Great vision, and he's a speedster too. So it's amazing to see. Sometimes you're able to like catch like a little like a blur of him going by you, and it's a great feeling.
Speaking of kind of being around when Sark first got here, do you kind of remember what sold you on him and the staff, and when you kind of thought this level of success was possible?
Immediately, just with his body of work that he's already done, and just that first team meeting on Zoom, man. I just remember he hopped on, said what's up, and then was prepping for the national championship game, and came back as soon as possible, man. And his energy, I'd say, and the vibe, the environment that we have within the facility is second to none, in my opinion. None but positive vibes, and once you are wrong, you get corrected in a way that isn't demeaning or like belittling, and it's all about progress. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing.
What is it that makes Coach Flood so good at his job?
Coach Flood, I would say his mathematical background. So he used to be a teacher back in 19 whatever, none of your business. Sorry, that's way better than 19 whatever. And the way that he goes about film is the same way. I mean, like, it's not just watching film. It's like football, like 100 level course, 400 level course. You know, it's great, man. And he knows how to get through to every single guy and how they respond. And I'll just say that's a credit to him being a great coach and his teaching background.
Hey, when Malik, made his decision to do his thing, was the farewells emotional? Because he was a popular guy in the locker room.
Yeah, man. It was very emotional, and it's tough. But I mean, we love him to death, and you can't have this season without having Malik. You know, we can't be in this situation without him stepping up and leading us in the right way, and that's a testament to him. I mean, ever since he stepped on campus, he's been locked in, working hard, staying extra, doing arms, doing legs, whatever, waiting for his opportunity. And it was very great to see when he had his opportunity, he maximized it. And I love him, I love his family, miss him dearly, but none but best wishes for him and everyone else who entered the portal as well. We're all a family, and it's all the same with them. They all worked hard, and they still show support and all that, so it's good.
How ready is Arch, that he has to live up to that second spot?
I just feel like anytime you're in that position, you always have to be ready, and I'd say that's exactly him. He's ready for it. He's stepping up in practice. He's making great throws, great decisions, and just the growth is very, very good to see.
Just among the starters on the offensive line, it seems like all y'all have had a knock at some point this year. How good does it feel to have that level of freshness? And I mean, is this going to be the best version of you guys that we're going to see against Washington?
I don't want to make any promises, but I know that we're going to play hard. We're going to block to the echo of the whistle, and we're going to try and push piles and be the engine of the team. And yeah, I mean, it feels great being able to have a little bit of downtime, no class, no finals, no nothing. Campus a little empty, kind of light, just chilling, and have more time to do recovery, get to sleep in, and focus on your body. So definitely beneficial, and excited.
Did Sark get after you guys in your first team run?
Oh, this week? You mean, or like when? Like when he first got here?
No, like when you guys first came back for bowl practices.
Oh, I mean, that's like knocking the cobwebs off a little bit, yeah. But the expectation is the same. The standard is the standard. That was the message, and understanding that we do have a lot of free time, but when we're here to work, it is work, and keep the main thing the main thing.
Christian, you're taking another teammate to the Senior Bowl. What was it like for Jordan, and did you get to be there when Sark announced that? What was that?
I mean, I would have jumped and hit a backflip if I could. Like, I was just on the knee, like, going crazy, a little tired. But I mean, like, a credit to him and his work. You know, he's been dealing with different road bumps and moving around it. You know, and staying positive. It's very human nature to like feel the way that someone could possibly feel dealing with adversity over and over again. But I mean, you just see what happens when you continually work hard and stick to it. And yeah, it's a great opportunity for him. I know you saw the pictures, him smiling ear to ear. Like, I mean, it's amazing, and I can't wait to see what he does out there.
Volleyball success. How much does that motivate y'all at all?
Big motivation. You know, it's very. I want to say it's like lucky. I feel special and a little bit humbling being here at the 40 acres. Great teams, you know, every year. Track, women's track, men's track, swimming and diving for like a decade, you know what I mean? So volleyball going back to back is crazy. I was watching the game, supporting, and I mean, they're just like the rabbit right now. You gotta try and follow that, try and chase. And Coach Elliott is doing a great job. He has a great thing going over there, and we're trying to emulate that.
Y'all only ran it 18 times for 51 yards against Washington a year ago. Do you feel like they didn't see the real Texas or the full Texas?
I mean, it's easy to say now in hindsight, but I mean, we had to. I feel like we weren't necessarily all the way there mentally that game, but had a year now to continually improve, and it'll be an exciting game. So.
Why do you say that? That people y'all weren't there all the way mentally. A lot of people not playing that game. Did that play a factor?
I would say like I don't want to say yes to that.
Okay.
I don't, but like a lot of different factors. You know what I mean? Like kind of human nature-ish. You know, like yeah, some people were missing, and that was a big hit. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was the first time we're really finding the team that we had now. Personally, just because of no Roshan, no Bijan. You know what I mean? Like they kind of backpacked it last year, and. Just having that first little bit, and then now it's really, really good.
You've watched Kelvin kind of grow up here since being here. What impressed you early on, and maybe what have you learned from him, even though you're an older guy?
Yeah, for sure. I'll say impression first day on campus, man, the quickest set I've seen in the longest time. Him and Calvin Anderson got the top two get-offs, in my opinion. And just the way that he shows up every day and he works, and he don't say much, man. He just works hard, and he's effective at what he does. He's very elite at what he does. I just like remember seeing him like the first time, like dang, man, like, we live in Houston, like we're same city, but like who is his trainer? You know what I mean? Like what is he doing in high school? So elite, man, elite guy, even better individual. You know what I mean? Big heart, and I'm excited to see. And yeah, man, I definitely take notes from him every day. I say in Patchville, like we kind of have a healthy competition, see who wins the most reps, and we talk every little break that we have about what we saw and the game plan for the game. So it's a very healthy and organic relationship, and I'm lucky to have him. And I just hope that I'm doing a good job of being a good mentor to him.
Who wins that more?
Who wins that more?
That competition.
It's even.
Yeah. Did you get to travel with the 18 team to New Orleans?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was super amazing. But this is a different trip. That was a bowl game. This is a playoff game, you know, with hopes of playing in the national championship. So it's a different. I feel like it'll be a different approach, more business-like. But New Orleans is fun. Great food. Just gotta watch out like what you eat at the time another week. You don't want to send on your belly too much. But yeah, I'm excited. Great city.
What message have y'all sent that the running game, despite losing Jonathan, has continued to pound?
I say it just starts from the head man, Coach Sark, the mentality that he wants us to have, and I say Coach Flood challenging the offensive line as well, and scout team giving us a great look. It's all like combined together to get the product on game days, and it's a collective effort, man. I'm telling you, it's like the people who like play the littlest role play the biggest job, because you really don't understand it until like they're missing. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing thing, and like the run game has been pretty decent, but we could always improve, and that's what we're gonna push for.
What was the
Good on
reaction?
scout team.
Who's been good?
Yeah.
Really everybody. They're bringing it. And that's what we need. You know, you want to get exposed in practice, and so you can watch the film, slow it down, reverse, and be like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And Tausili, I mean, he's making me work a lot. He's making me work a lot, and it's really good. He's fast, got a lot of pass rush moves. Vosick as well. Billy, DG. That's just the edge rushers that I go against every day, but the interior, the linebackers, DBs, everybody doing a great job.
What was the reaction in the film room when y'all saw Kelvin's block on that CJ touchdown run?
Oh, that's crazy. On the field was even better though. Like I was right there. I was like, oh. And I'm like, all right, Kelvin, yeah. You're celebrating, man. I mean, like.
I mean, y'all feed off that as an
Yeah,
offensive
I'm
lineman.
smiling ear to ear right now. That happened like a month ago. Like it's amazing to see, and then you want to do it too. You know what I mean? That's the healthy competition that we're talking about. So it's good, man. And that was super awesome to see that get highlighted.
How important is it to have that brotherhood up front, to be rooting for each other and enjoying each other's success?
It's very important, man. I remember like first coming on campus, and the older guys kind of telling me that like once you're in the game, it's like deep in the drive. You kind of like look to your left and your right, and like, all right, I'm doing it for my brothers. Like young, naive, like new to football me. I'm like, yeah, okay. But like it's real, and having that connection and that bond, it makes you go harder, man. You don't think about yourself. You think about doing your job to the best of your ability for the guy next to you and everyone on the field. So it's a very big component, and could win a lot of games and lose a lot of games. So that culture component.
Thinking about that Bama game way back in September, whatever. How much did that help both y'all to get to this point? And after the game, were you kind of thinking, Bama might get back to the CFP, we might get to CFP? Did that cross your mind at all?
Nah, I would say like prior, like in winter, I just believed that we were going to be an undefeated team, and just having that like mentality personally. Anything that we did like really didn't surprise me. But I mean, it was great. It was amazing. And credit to Alabama. They did everything that they need to do to get into the playoffs. And best of luck to every team out there. But yeah, man, just had a lot of confidence in our team for a while now, and it's really nice to see it happen and play out.
How much did it help playing that really tough game so early in the season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, you feel like you're confident, you feel like you're like levitating, you're not even on the ground. You know what I mean? You're just like playing a different level and just trusting yourself and understanding that. So that was a big I guess pro to that. Yeah.
What was the highlight from the team dinner?
Highlight of team dinner.
Did y'all have like a team dinner after the announcement of making the playoffs?
Oh yeah. We I think we had a little breakfast talk. It was crazy, man. It was awesome. It was that Sunday right after the championship, right? That was the next day. Yeah. And everyone just kind of like chilling. It's kind of like last day of school vibes a little bit, grab food or whatever, and we're just waiting, man. And I stepped out for a little bit. I just hear like a bunch of moving. I'm like trying to get back, man, and running just in time. And going crazy, man. It was a great feeling. But now we already locked back the focus of executing and playing our best game.
David, do you have a COVID season still?
Yeah, I have an idea of eligibility.
You coming back?
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
Yeah, I'm really focused on ball right now, honestly. Trying to get into the little nuances of Michael Penix in the offense, so I don't really have much thought. Just trying to really slow down and think about it, But
well, what have you learned about Michael Penix and this Washington offense?
Man, he's a pro. He's gonna play little games with the offense. He's gonna change plays here and there. He's good at checking some players. But also he has a pretty interesting cadence. He gives a nice fake clap to get see if the defense is in and to see if they're gonna jump off sides. So we gotta be aware of that. But I've been seeing nothing but a good quarterback. He's having a great year, honestly.
Where does he compare with some of the other quarterbacks?
So where do you mean compare? I mean, I can't really compare him to other guys. He has a unique skill set in his own with the way he's been able to make certain throws and just command this offense to get him to where they're at. Mad kudos to him for being able to do what he does.
When Sark comes in here and you're a player that's on the roster already, at what point are you sold on his vision and think reaching these kind of heights was possible?
I understood, like, from day one, from seeing him before he came here, I already understood that he's been under a really great head coach, Nick Saban, so he understands how to win and what it takes to win. And just playing against him on our first year, I kind of understood that when he gets some pieces going, that he's going to be able to take us all the way. I had faith in year one because I understood that what he was saying was true. And I feel like when the culture piece came about and we started working more harder, it just sort of came to fruition, you know.
What's been the key to developing players better? It's been the knock on Texas for so long.
I feel like it's just the culture that we produce and just working and just, I'd say just really honing in more on development, because Coach Sark is really particular on not just developing on the field but off the field, because your off the field life can affect your on the field, and that's where I feel like he took a different approach to it and sort of helped me personally. It helped me because I didn't have to deal with as much off the field. I was more one-track minded and focused, and with that one-track mind, I was able to tweak the little things, focus on this during practice, and I feel like that's where the development sort of came in this year, this go-around.
What's the biggest difference with the defense this year compared to last year when you guys played Washington?
The defense last year, I'd say the difference with us is we're more hungry. Yeah. We have a bad taste in our mouth. They really gave it to us last season, so I just know that everybody has this game sort of just locked in. You know what we're going to be up against. They're going to be up against a great offense that's going to try to launch the ball. We saw it last year. So we understand that now we're going to have to bring our A game.
On that note of development, how much have you seen Anthony Hill develop next to you, and where has he developed the most in your opinion?
I would say he was already a mature guy, but he's just been understanding more of the little nuggets. So like little nuggets that help you within calls, and he's got more comfortable in the defense. I feel like that's helped him to sort of make more of the plays that he's made, and he's been more patient and been able to read more. He's been able to slow down the clutter a little bit, and he's been playing faster.
How much does that defensive tackle group in front of you help the linebackers have an easier time?
I mean, you see it. They're beating us to plays almost every time. We're competing for plays almost, but they help us a lot. They really do. To have the skill set that Murph and the skill set that Tavondre provide and the leadership that they provide, they've helped us tremendously to grow as a defense and as a team. And we can't really... Man, I can't really speak on just the type of guys those guys are, because those are some really close friends to me, and they've been growing and developing, and just seeing them grow and mature into the leaders that they are right now has been really wholesome, you know.
You know, the vibe of the team comparing getting to the playoff compared to a bowl. Yeah. Like if you go to a bowl, some guys are going to opt out, kind of do what's best for them. Well, get to the playoff, you know, guys aren't doing that. What's kind of the difference between the teams this year, just the feeling of the postseason?
I mean, like Coach Sark says, we didn't come this far just to come this far. We want to go all the way. So I feel like the feeling of the team is just wanting to win it all. That's really what we want to do. We're one-track minded, and we all have one goal, and that's that championship ring.
Remember he said, you know, he talked to you after the Wyoming game, you know, about Anthony missing his run fit on that touchdown run. Did you feel like that was a moment where things started to click for him, or have maybe there's still been some growing pains that maybe haven't shown up quite in the same way?
I feel like that was it was one of those growing pains for him, but with Anthony, I wasn't really too worried about that becoming a constant problem with him. He's a guy who's, like I said, he's mature-minded, and he fixes his own mistakes. He comes to the sideline, really chop it up before I even blurt it out to him, like, oh, this. He's like, I know, and he's not just saying I know, like, oh, yeah, just like stop talking. He's saying, like, I already understand that concept on the defense, like, I got it, thank you for helping me. But just seeing that level of growth and attention to detail that I've seen from him, I'm not too worried about him.
How sweet does this feel for the guys who've been here for a while through some of the low points and the coaching changes in the 5 and 7s?
I mean, coming from Alamo Bowl to contending for a CFP, man, it's just crazy how fast life comes at you. But it's a really great feeling knowing that all that we've done and worked towards is now coming to fruition, and that we have a chance to be legends, and why not be great, you know?
Do you have to tell the young guys that it wasn't always like that?
Man, we always remind them, like, man, y'all are having the time of y'all's lives. This freshman class, they are having the time of their lives coming in on winning season with Coach Sark and just all of this, man. They are a pretty lucky bunch, but I'm glad that they get to experience this so they can understand what it's like to win, see what it takes to win, and also build off on that so they can establish it for themselves, you know. It's good for them to get exposed to this and also get exposed to the teams that we'll be facing.
This is the time of their lives as freshmen. How would you describe that 2021 season for those of you who are here for that?
It was a tough one, a lot of growing pains, but that season was very necessary. All those bad seasons we had, I feel, were necessary in order for us to sort of go back to the drawing board and correct our mistakes to get to where we're at now. I mean, it was tough then, but I'm glad that it happened because without a season like that, we wouldn't have been able to build the culture that we have off of losing that many times and just understanding what it takes to actually win and, you know what I'm saying, going after it and getting it, you know.
Sark didn't start the Culture Wednesdays until the second year that he was here. Is that right?
Yeah.
So he was kind of observing the first year and then figuring out who was in, who was out before he started that.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. But kudos to him for building that Culture Wednesday because I feel like it did help us get closer. It allowed me to understand different guys, and it helped me to grow and expand myself. And instead of just how I would talk to, say, Keaton Crawford, it would be different than how I talk to Tivondre Sweat. It would allow me to understand, like, this is where he comes from, this is what he's about. And it also helped us to get closer, and I feel like it also helped us to get more like-minded in our efforts to win gold for this national championship.
Did you get a chance to say bye to Malik? You know, Malik's a popular guy. Did you get a chance to say bye?
No, I didn't get that chance, but I'm happy for him. I know he's going to do great things.
Dave, now that you've had time to reflect on it, why did things not spiral out of control after the Oklahoma loss? Why were you guys able to correct course?
Because I felt like the team understood that, one, last season we're coming off games that were this close, so we understood that, okay, we're close. We're not going to let these games define us. So we took that sort of nick, or what do you say, a wound, I'd say, in that season. We learned from it and said, we're not going to let this define us. We understood where we're at, and we just sort of looked forward, and we just knew that our goal was to play them again, so that's what we kind of took our mind to instead of just dwelling and sort of moping around, you know. That wouldn't help nobody. The negativity wouldn't have helped anybody, so we understood staying positive and just getting back to work would be the best thing for the team, and we're a mature team, so we handled that pretty well, in my opinion.
Holiday season, what's on your Christmas list?
Holiday season, man, just mom to be happy with the gift I got her. I'm not gonna spoil it though. I just want to see mom smile. That's all I want for Christmas. And my sisters, that's all I want. Nothing too crazy. I just want them to see their smile when they get their gifts. I gotta go get them though.
How has this pass defense gotten better since the TCU game?
I would say we were more intentional with trying to get turnovers and just understanding that where teams are going to attack us and where our deficiencies were. I feel like we understood that, and we've been building off of that, and we've been becoming better and better. Because our ultimate goal is to be the best defense in the nation, and obviously we're getting to that point, but there's still little things we can clean up to, get to that point.
And a chance to look at some films, kind of what are your impressions of this Washington team and what they've accomplished this year?
I think it's got a pretty solid team. They definitely revolve around their quarterback. They got a great quarterback. Excuse me. For them, I think everyone knows their role in their team, and they just do it at a high level, and that's kind of gotten them to where they are, undefeated. They're definitely, we kind of see similarities in how we faced them last year, and looking back at us last year, we noticed how what caused us so many problems was just us not doing our job and them doing theirs. And so I think we kind of understand that now and are definitely, making sure that we're more detail-oriented going against them this year.
For the guys who have been here for a while, that were here before the Sark takeover, kind of how sweet is this experience, and kind of when did you feel like, hey, we have this kind of possibility?
It's definitely, it's pretty cool. I think for a lot of guys like that were here before Sark, it's a great thing to look back on, like the process and the journey that we had to take to get here. But I don't think anybody thinks. I personally don't think we would have done it unless Sark came in here and really kind of changed the culture and the mindset of the guys that were in this in the organization or at the school. And like, you know, for me personally, I think for him coming in and, you know, being able to instill what he thought would be a championship type of mindset, and then kind of, you know, depending on me and the guys that were he considered leaders, to kind of spread that across the whole team. It definitely worked, as you can see now. You know, his year 3, we finally made it into the playoffs. So it's definitely been a great journey, and it'll be something we look back on forever.
Did you know it could happen this fast after, say, last season, going into this season?
Yeah, I was just talking about that actually. It's funny because every year going into off season, you know, starting with the strength coach and everybody's goal is, all right, this year we're gonna go. You know, we want to go play for a championship, a national championship, and so no one really thinks about like how long it takes for that to really form, or you know how many years it might take, or how long will players need to develop. And so for us, like, you know, we went 5-7 our first year, and after that year, everybody was, quite frankly, you know, pissed off. So, like, you know, everybody was more than enough, like, encouraged, driven to go out there and play better than we ever have. And so, I think, and we kind of fell short in the year 2, and then you look at year 3, and we kind of knew what we needed to do, and we knew what we needed to work on. And so here we are now. You look back at it, and it's kind of like we knew what we had, and especially the guys that came back, we knew what we wanted to go do. We knew the potential. So, you know, the fact that we were able to go do it is definitely short of amazing. So.
Jalen, people are saying if Washington's going to win this game, they're going to do it with their passing game against your pass defense. What goes through your mind when you hear that, and where's the confidence of your pass defense right now?
I mean, we're one of the only 4 teams playing in the college football playoffs. So I think for us, our confidence is, you know, higher than it's ever been, regardless of what they want to attack. I think for us, we just have to worry about doing us. We know they definitely got solid guys that can go, you know, route runners, and then they got a solid quarterback. So I think for us, we just got to dial into the game plan, understand what everybody's role is, and go out there and execute. And I think we'll just be just fine.
Jalen, you are going to take another teammate to the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Whittington. Can you share what was it like to get the invitation for you?
Yeah.
What was it like when Coach Sarkisian announced that Jordan Whittington was going?
So for me, it was definitely surreal moment, just because, like, I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm a senior. Like, it's just been a lot of, it's been a long journey, and, you know, for me to, you know, get that award or get that invitation is definitely a blessing. And, you know, I appreciate them for, you know, admiring what I do. And then seeing Whit get that, like, late in the year, it was definitely a cool feeling. And I think for him, he definitely more than deserved it. And so I'm just really excited and proud for him. The team, I don't know if you saw the video, but, you know, we were all excited, and it was a pretty cool moment. So.
What does it do for a linebacker position to play behind a T'Vondre Sweat at Byron?
Makes it easier. Just like having guys like Sweat and Murph eating up double teams and holding out blocks, and you're able to just move lateral, you know, without being touched a lot of times. It makes it easier to make plays. It makes it easier to not have to worry about old linemen. And then, you know, we kind of work hand in hand. So like, if they're holding a double and I see a gap, I can shoot it, and they'll probably come off. And more than likely, they'll be one-on-one, and they can, you know, be the one-on-one to make the play, or I'll make the play and come free. So I think just being able to have guys like that are so dominant, they make my job a lot easier. So
lot's been written about the run defense. Who's maybe an overlooked guy that's really critical to that run defense? Everybody talks about the big, you know, T'Vondre.
Yeah, definitely. I would say Sorrell. Sorrell is definitely overlooked. Or underlooked? I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah, but you get it. Yeah, definitely. He doesn't really get, you know, the credit that I feel like he deserves. Being at that position, he's always doing his job, and he's doing it at the best of his ability. whether or not the stats show it, I think everybody on our defense, without everyone doing their job, we're not as dominant as we are. And so that's definitely one guy that I would say I feel like he doesn't get a lot of credit, but for him, I don't think he really cares about the credit. I think he just wants to go win. And so, I really admire that about him because at the end of the day, the film doesn't lie. And so when you go back, you look at the film, you can still see, that he's doing his role and he's dominating you. So.
Yeah, and you probably use the most appropriate words when talking about DeLandre. He eats up the double team, right? So when you're watching film, Washington, are they going to have the same problem that other teams have had with
I think they're aware that leaving him 1-on-1 might not be their best option. So I'm pretty sure going into it they'll probably have planned for him, whether that's doubling him or trying to run more lateral, attack the perimeter. It's probably something they could do. But he's definitely somebody that you have to game plan against just because he's right there at the ball. So if you don't really account for him, he's just going to make every play and dominate the whole game. And that's usually what he's been able to do throughout the season. So
Bender was telling us you guys are almost competing against him to get tackles, and what comes to mind was that Texas Tech play where he kind of throws you aside.
Yeah, I mean,
and takes the TFL.
It's football, I guess. I was a little hurt when it happened, and then it made me look bad on tape. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all jokes, I mean, we're playing for national championship now, so I can kind of put it to the side, put my pride aside a little bit, what I'm saying.
Did he tell you why you did that? Or?
He just said I don't know, and I really didn't care. I was just like, bro, you can have it. Like he still got some making up to do, but let's just go win his ring first, and then I still probably would never let him live it down. No.
You and Sweat, Christian Jones was this in here talking to us. Y'all weren't 5-star guys coming out of high school.
No.
What does it say about this program that they're starting to develop guys like y'all into big-time football?
What does it say about
the program and just the growth of the coaching staff?
I think it just says that, or it's kind of I would say we're living proof of that this that what Sark is doing, like, is developing players. What these coaches doing are developing players. Just to see that, like you said, guys like us were 3 stars, and look at us now. All of us are balling. That just kind of shows that these guys that come in, you might not play right away. You might not see the playing time you want. You might not get the success you want to start off. But if you really see it through and you kind of, trust the process and you keep grinding, eventually you'll reap the, what is it?
Reap the rewards.
Yeah, reap the rewards. And so you enjoy the fruits of your labor, and yeah. But just keep going on.
Jalen, building off of what he just asked you. In that class, you were the lowest rated guy out of all of them in that class, and to see a journey now, like, what do you think about where you started from to where you are now?
Man, maybe them reporters got it wrong. No, like, seriously, it's just kind of, I always talk to, like, I would tell Choate, like, credit to him for, sticking it out with me and helping me develop. He'll tell me, like, it was always there, or he'll try to, be like, nah, that's not the case, whatever. But I truly believe, having coaches like Sark and Choate and PK, guys that took the time and developed their players, and kind of, we had the right scheme. And for me, I was just so hungry to get on the field and make a name for myself, and all the pieces just kind of fell in the right place, and I just saw the success, and that goes along with everybody else out there, including Sweat. So I think the key message is just trusting the process, and you'll definitely get what you want.
Why is this team ready for this moment?
Why is this team ready for this moment? We've seen a lot and been through a lot, and so I think the biggest thing about us is we got leaders that lead us in the right direction, and we got a team that loves each other, and they go out there and play for each other. So I think we're ready for whatever is in front of us.
Jalen, do you ever get a chance to talk to former players here like Joseph Osai and have conversations?
Oh yeah, all the time. They usually text me or reach out to me after a game, or not a lot of them texting me after the season because they were here when I was a freshman, when I was a young pup. So you know, they just congratulate me on the success and how they're proud of the way that I've grown and stuff like that. It's always pretty cool to get to see guys that you kind of looked up to, kind of, you know, patting you on the back now, and it's like they all rooting for you. And then, you know, we're the first Texas team to make it to the playoffs, so it's a huge deal, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Do you hear the naysayers out there that have been associating Texas with entitlement and, you know, doing less with more over the
you said like, am I aware of it?
Yeah, do you hear, you know, the critics are out there?
I mean, like, I've been here so long, you kind of just get used to just blocking out the naysayers, so I really don't pay attention to it much, but, you know, I think they're always out there. It's just whether or not you want to listen to them or not.
And the message that this team is sending to that?
I don't really think there's much to really hate on as a team. Like, I don't think we've done I think we proved a lot, and obviously there's still more games to go out there and prove, but, you know, if we're lucky enough to go out there and hoist that trophy at the end of the season, then there's not really much to say after that. So.
Jalen, what are your thoughts on Coach Chubb getting another head coaching job, and also how's it like, how has he done juggling all his responsibilities?
Man, I mean, proud of him, as to say the least. You know, for him, like, coming in, you know, he was a head coach when he got here, and so, you know, he turned the linebacker room around for sure when I was in there. And you can even ask the guys that had been coached up at this university. He definitely makes you a better player, but a better man as well. So for him, you know, I think everybody was excited about him getting a new head job, and I think he's definitely up for it. And then right now, you know, he's done a good job of still being our coach, even though he's juggling a lot, like you said. As a head coach, he's still got priorities for Nevada, but he's still able to take his time and work on, you know, winning this ring. So.